Diaz for sure.
An incredible night, really, a truly incredible night. And, you know, there is a baseball game to be played.
Right.
So George Kirby had to take in much of that ceremony from the bullpen and getting loose in the outfield as that was going on.
Took that special jacket off and off he goes.
So George Kirby ready to go. Game 2 of the series. Yandy Diaz leading things off. And game 2 is underway with a fastball up. Man, so much emotion in the ballpark tonight. And yet the Mariners trying to even this series at 1 game each. Diaz softly in play up the middle. Colt Emerson. 1 away.
Yeah, for this team in this series, a tough loss last night. Just couldn't get the bats going until Julio hit that home run of late. But yeah, hopefully something this afternoon or before the game energizes this crowd.
Top 3 in this order, very potent. You just saw Diaz, Jonathan Aranda getting ready to hit now, and then Junior Caminero with 33 home runs. The key is, can you keep the bases clean for the man on deck, Caminero? Easier said than done. Here is Aranda. He goes after the first pitch and fouls it off for strike 1. George Kirby up on the bump tonight in game 2.
Yeah, he was really good that last time. Now, yeah, the 3 strikeouts, but more of a bounce back out. You had the really rough one down in Texas. I thought you got better and better as that game went on, especially finishing hitters with 2 strikes.
We will be joined in the booth throughout the course of the night. Mitch Haniger will be swinging by for a half inning. Former Mariner closer J.J. Putz will be here as well. And Mark Langston, one of the great left-handers in franchise history. Just barely missing, up and in, 2 balls and a strike. Aranda having a really good year, hitting for power, getting on base. A swing and a miss. 98 that time. Plenty of fastballs, nothing but to Aranda from Kirby.
At the top of this lineup, Yandy Diaz didn't do a whole lot last night, 0 for 5, but Yandy Diaz, Aranda, and Junior Caminero, I mean, arguably one of the best top 3 in any lineup in Major League Baseball.
It's about as good as it gets. Another heater. Full count. Yeah, if you look at the top 3 in this order for the Rays, they are 2nd in baseball in WRC plus, a robust 127. They're 1st in average, 3rd in on base, and 6th in slugging, to your point. Donovan into foul territory on the warning track. He's got room. 2 down. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. We've seen plenty of fastballs from Kirby early on.
Yeah, a lot of fastballs, and you look at the top of this list, that sweeper, that's a pitch that's become so prevalent in 2026. We had a little bit of an adjustment with his arm angle last year, trying to get over that shoulder injury. And I think he's gotten a little higher. That sweeper's got a little bit more depth to it. He's really leaning into that pitch, especially the lefties.
Well, first time through the order, mission accomplished for Kirby. Bases are clean for Junior Caminero. Caminero, an all-star this year for the 2nd straight year. Top 10 MVP finish a season ago when he hit 45 home runs, a Rays single season record. He's got another 33 of them so far this year.
Yeah, last time the Mariners ran into the Tampa Bay Rays down in Tampa, that's when Junior Caminero was just starting to heat up once again. Had that really good first couple months of the season.
You know, for a guy who you can see chasing a breaking ball off the plate like he does, he's not an easy guy to strike out. He's below league average. Kirby ahead 1-2, trying to put him away. That's not to say he never strikes out. Kirby punches the ticket of Junior Caminero. And a 1-2-3, top of the 1st. Gorgeous night in Seattle, looking high above T-Mobile Park. Mariners TV, presented by Pimco. Taylor Ward puts the first pitch in play, legs it out, infield base hit.
Been aggressive. Talk about that plate discipline. Tough out, but able to leg this one out with an infield hit. Get this started.
Leadoff man aboard right away on the very first pitch. Here is Cole Young. Well, a change up on the mound for the Rays in this game. Former Mariner reliever Casey Legumina gets the start today. It turns out it will be a bullpen day for Kevin Cash and the Rays. Griffin Jacks was scheduled to start, but we found out maybe an hour or so before first pitch that he was taken out of the starter's role because of elbow discomfort tonight. So no Griffin Jacks, and instead we'll see that bullpen gate swinging open a few times.
Yeah, Casey Legumina, he was designated for assignment late April. It was really good the first couple of months. Really found something with the Rays.
Aranda from his knees throws to second, on to first, not in time. Young is able to beat it out by a step. 1 out and 1 on. Mariners swap runners over there. The former Ray, Randy Arozarena, bats third and left field. Julio batting 5th once again, and Cal Raleigh batting 8th. This was a change to the lineup that Dan Wilson made prior to the start of the series last night in game 1. So he is sticking with that. Those two guys obviously hitting much lower than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, really seen this lineup shuffle around. Cole Young, obviously, we've always seen him down the bottom. Now he's got a chance to be in the leadoff spot, hit second, trying to have some Taylor Ward up the top. And Cal just trying to give him a little bit of space down there to get things turned around, and hopefully all things are going well. He's right in the thick in the middle of that lineup.
1 out, 1 on for Randy. Obviously, most teams have some pretty great loyalty to veteran players and where they hit in the lineup, and will allow players to work through slumps or dry patches, dry spells for months at a time even. But Mariners, as the calendar flips into August, taking some more drastic changes to the lineup. The M's have lost 11 of 16. They've scored 3 runs or fewer in 10 of those 11 losses. And they find themselves now a season worst 5 games under 500. Bottom line, trying to get things turned around and turn around in a hurry.
We talked about this with the bullpen, where all of a sudden you saw Andres Munoz warming up to go into the 8th inning. Yeah, be a little bit more of that pressing the panic button, but a little bit more urgency. And the same goes offensively too. If it was the month of May, sure, let it roll out, but we're in August right now.
A bad chase on a sweeper in the dugout. Well, this portion of the game is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. It's a night of live professional boxing with the main event at Emerald Queen Casino August 8th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission. Before you drive, put your phone out of reach and stay focused on the road. And by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Here's Canzone taking high and outside. Ball 1. Hit hard on the ground, and out number 3. As we celebrate 50 seasons, we honor the great Rupert Jones, an original Mariner. He was the first pick in 1977, the expansion draft, and became the club's first ever All-Star that same year. Roots Troops, let him hear him. Roop. When we come back, another top 50. Mitch Haniger joins us in the booth. Top of the second, Mariners and Rays scoreless. Victor Mesa Jr. leading things off. Mitch Haniger joining us in the booth, a 2018 All-Star, 6 years in Seattle, a 39-homer campaign in 2021, driving in 100 runs that year, and the following year a key piece in that team that broke the playoff drought of 2 decades. We say hello to number 17, Mitch Haniger. Hanny, great to see you, man.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Man, it's wonderful to have you back here inside T-Mobile Park. What was it like when you got the call from the Mariners and found out you were in the top 50?
Pretty surreal to be on a list with those guys. Incredible. Yeah, just happy to be here. Really grateful for the experience.
When did you find out? Like, because they kept it a secret from everyone. I mean, I only, guys were getting.
Ryan's trying to see how good of a secret keeper you are.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it was at least 6 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I think sometime in June, maybe May. Okay. But yeah, got the call from Tim Heavley, and cool. Love to be up here. So it's blessed and happy to be up here.
When we think about your time with the Mariners and where you came from, I mean, you were a guy who was a high draft pick. At one point in your minor league career, actually went down a level intentionally, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
to get more at bats. And then the Mariners go out and they make this big trade with Arizona for Gene Segura and some guy we had never heard of named Mitch Haniger. And now here you are in the top 50 of all time in 50 seasons of Mariners baseball.
Yeah.
A playoff team, 100 ribby season. When you think about that in context, do you allow yourself to kind of zoom out and say, man, that it all happened right here?
Yeah, the last 2 years I definitely have, and it's been really cool. Like I said earlier, I'm so grateful for the career I had here, and Amanda and I having the kid back home and bringing up and living here, and it's been such a great experience, and the city's awesome. We loved our Seattle fans, and nothing's matched playing in Seattle.
I remember talking to you, Mitch, throughout your time here, and obviously I was broadcasting at the time, but just talking about some of the changes you made to hit for more power. When you're in the minor leagues with the D-backs, which all of a sudden your career started to surge where you were a guy. Do you remember, going back to those days and trying to find little things that made those big adjustments? I mean, we're talking 39 home runs in 2021. I mean, you look back and go, man, some of the things that you did as a Mariner.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fun year. You just kind of when I'm look back on it, guys talk about this term that you're blacked out, you're so focused on, you don't know what's going on. I had the blinders on my whole career because I felt like I couldn't survive if I didn't. It's so hard to compete at this level. These guys are the best in the world, and guys are getting better and better and better, and so you need to do the same. The competition's always improving. And for me, I always stayed extremely focused. I tried to block everything out and focus on baseball, and it was very time-consuming, but it was all worth it. And dating back to I retooled my swing. I had to figure out, things weren't working. I felt like I had more power. I felt like I could tap into more athleticism at the plate, and so I made some changes, and luckily it paid off.
You are possibly the most focus-driven player that I have seen with the Mariners.
He still talks about it, by the way.
What are you now utilizing that drive and focus for in your post-playing career? You're like an elite backgammon player now?
No, nothing like that. I'm kind of dabbling in a bunch of different things and just enjoying being at home with the kids, and I got a couple. I'm just a dad. I'm living the dad life right now. Oldest daughter just started kindergarten, so we're doing a bunch of dad stuff. We got back to school night, I think, next week, so a bunch of those types of things, and then slowly figuring out what's next. And once the kids are in school full time, I know more time will open up and we'll have more time to get into something. But I'd love to stay somewhat connected to the game, and I've always loved baseball, and it's been a great journey.
This ball pulled down the line and foul. Living in California?
Living in California, yeah.
Was there somebody on the top 50 that when you saw the list you thought, I got to meet that guy? Or reconnect with that guy?
Yeah, Tim, all 49 other guys, everybody. There's, it's always great to run into Edgar, Griffey, Jay, Ichi. I mean, these guys are guys that I grew up idolizing, and as a kid growing up in California, I watched the Giants a lot, and I'd see some Seattle games, but I always remember playing Ken Griffey Jr. baseball on N64, and so I learned all the players' names by playing video games. And it's pretty surreal just being around these guys.
You guys
feel like a fan. I kind of have to hold it together when I meet them, and I'm like, hey, I don't even know if they know who I am.
Well, you guys got together on Thursday night, right? Had the dinner?
I just flew up last night because our kids were in school.
So you missed it. Okay,
yeah, I missed it, unfortunately, but nervous around those big guys, Feel like a fan.
2 outs, nobody on. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cedric Mullins, veteran outfielder. Kirby has sat down the first 2, trying to sit down 6 straight to begin tonight. On his way, the 3-2, and he fouls it back.
And you played with George Kirby 2022. You watching him now?
Yeah.
Anything different, or is he just the same guy? I mean, you think about it, right? I mean, that's a lot of years in between when 2022 he pitched in that postseason when they're breaking the drought. Mm-hmm. Now here he is in 2026. You look at him and go, man, right? It seems different, more mature, or the same guy.
A lot of them the same guy. They're just more polished, and I think that's the key about playing in the league for a while, is you just start honing your tools and sharpening your tools a little bit more, right? Getting a little bit better. And when I watch guys like him and Logan pitch, and I always knew they were special from the time they showed up at big league camp, you just see their stuff, and George's ability to just hit spots has always been incredible, and they were always both really fun to play behind.
Your career, as we've kind of touched on, had such an incredible journey and arc. When you are now at the end of it and you go back and look at the beginning of it, what is it something that you learn now that you can reflect and realize that you wish you could have gone back to Mitch Haniger at some point, whether it was with Milwaukee or with Arizona or with Seattle, and wish you could have told him then?
And you did put me on the spot with that one. You said all easy questions. Let's see. Oh, get him.
Oh, you're wishing, you're hoping. No, Hanny.
We'll catch up later.
He's got a flight to catch. Oh my gosh, Mitch Haniger, a Mariner great, top 50 all-timer. What a guy. And I don't know how your front ankle ever survived this swing, my friend. Your back ankle. Both of them. Mitch Haniger, kind enough to join us in the booth.
It's Tower.
No score, bottom of the second. Julio leading things off. First pitch strike. Our thanks to Mitch Haniger, kind enough to come up here in the booth. You know, his back ankle was the one that really caused some problems for him at the end of his career, but his front ankle, do you remember when he would swing, how much he would roll over his ankle?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it looked like the most painful swing every time, and it's just what he did every time. Julio is out. Well, the next Mariners fireworks night is Friday, August 21st. You can come out to the ballpark, see the Mariners take on the Cubs, and enjoy post-game fireworks spectacular thanks to T-Mobile and 98.9 The Bull. Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets. That's going to be it for the opener. Well, not really an opener. There's not really a true Bolt guy, as far as we know. That's the first pitcher that's done on a bullpen day. Julio Cruz, an original Mariner, switch hitting second baseman, still ranked second all-time in stolen bases. The Cruiser stole at least 40 bags in 5 straight seasons. This portion of the game is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. One out and nobody on. Josh Naylor, the batter. Local guy Cam Boozer. Naylor, a ride to right field, and Josh Naylor has hit a home run. A long time coming, man. That's gotta feel good. It has been 43 straight games since Naylor's last home run.
And the first pitch he sees left on left. Again, we've been seeing plenty of on base, plenty of singles. He gets a hanging slider, drives that ball into right field. That's a huge shine right there. We talk about these bats in the middle of the lineup, Goldie, every night.
If Naylor had failed to homer tonight, The 44-game homerless drought would have matched a career long, which spanned the 2020 and 21 seasons.
Look at that, getting those hands extended, barreling up this right over that Muckleshoot sign, just enough. And I guarantee it too. You ask Josh Naylor, he'd probably say, "Oh, you know, hey, look, I don't think about it. I'm just trying to do, you know, whatever his response is." But you know, it's plays in the back of his mind in regards to some of that slug, those doubles, those home runs. So good to see.
Well, you need some bats to start the heat up, and that's one of them. His first home run since June the 12th. Full count on Donovan. Cam Boozer, product of Fife High School in Tacoma, went on to pitch at Oregon State. Spent some time at Lewiston, Idaho as well. Lewis Clark State College. Has had a just wild path to the big leagues. He made his major league debut back in 2024. He was a 32-year-old rookie. Has had numerous health issues, broken bones, Tommy John, some off the field issues as well, and has made it to the big leagues and is getting some pretty good run. 43 outings 3 years ago. Last season, 39 appearances for the White Sox. And if the Rays want you pitching out of their bullpen, you're probably doing something all right.
Yeah, for sure.
This ball is laced to the gap, left center field. Donovan is aboard. A message now from the Washington beef farmers and ranchers.
Win or lose, it's really about how you feed the game, right? Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Quick visit out to the mound as Boozer gave up the home run on the first pitch to Naylor, then an 8-pitch at bat to Donovan, which he singles to left center.
Cam Boozer on the mound. I remember when he made his debut, obviously with the Red Sox, but man, it was emotional. Being 32 years old, all the stuff he went through, Goldie, that you mentioned. And usually, you know, when you have that debut and you get a chance to pitch in the big leagues, usually it's pretty short-lived. But here he is. I mean, he went through 42 and 2/3 his first year, 31 plus, 24 innings this season. So he's sticking around.
One out, one on, Cal Raleigh. Cal down to the order, second straight game, batting 8th. Part of our pregame festivities, part of the top 50 players all time. You know, this is a team that is looking for any type of spark from anywhere. And I just can't help but wonder what it must have felt like for those two guys, and for Andres Munoz and J.P. Crawford and Cal Raleigh, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, although he was warming up in the bullpen for most of it. What it was like for them to be a part of that top 50 celebration. Now, they have seen so many of those ceremonies over the years from that perch in the dugout.
Right.
And tonight they were a part of it. What a surreal feeling that must have been. Taken low, ball 4.
Well, I think when you get so caught up in the grind, obviously as you're playing, you don't really think about your career, big picture wise, what it's going to look like at the end. You just didn't. But I think when you have a moment like that, especially when you're struggling, obviously with Cal too, we know about the struggles this season and this team in general, but you have a moment like that where it kind of reminds you what you've done as a player, how much you've impacted this organization. Allows you to press that reset button for just a moment and say, you know what, going to be all right. I've had a pretty good career here.
Well, what does Bones say all the time, right? Be the president of your own fan club.
Yeah.
And a good little reminder for those guys.
For sure.
Colt Emerson batting.
I think too with Cal, it kind of instills that, reminds him that, he's a leader in this clubhouse too. I mean, we're talking last couple of days, especially going into yesterday, like, is it after that really tough loss in that last series to finish that one off? Do you have that team meeting in the clubhouse? Do the leaders step up? Have a few words, but man, it is tough for a guy like Cal. He knows it. He's the guy. He's that leader in the clubhouse. Probably pull everyone together if you do have a little team meeting, whatever it may be. But he knows he's struggling, so it's hard to get up in front of guys and start addressing things when that part of the problem is offensively. What you're capable of so much more.
Hit hard. Aranda snares it to second. Nobody's covering first base. And because of that, Boozer not getting to the bag, the Rays cannot turn 2.
This ball got down to first base really quickly, right? So you look at where Boozer's at. I mean, look, he's way off of the base in regards to no chance getting back to first, and that's going to be interesting too. Look, he's been giving up plenty of contact. He's got the walk mixed in there as well. Think to yourself, trying to calculate if you did have enough time to get out of this inning by getting yourself to first base, and that can anchor as you're trying to get into this next at bat against Taylor Ward.
Yeah, lineup card now turns over. Strike 1 to Taylor Ward. Mariners have 1 on the board here in the second, thanks to Josh Naylor's home run. 2 outs, 2 on. Ward behind 0-2. Able to get a piece of it off the plate. Still no balls and 2 strikes.
We saw Taylor Ward in that last series against the Tigers shoot that ball in right field through that big gap between first and second. You see that big hole over there, and you see Boozer's pitching him away. 2 strikes. Shoot something that other way.
To center field. Mullins. Out number 3. First baseman and left fielder Bruce Bochy, 5 seasons with the M's. He represented Seattle in the 1979 All-Star Game, played at the Kingdome, and became the first Mariner to record a hit or an RBI in the Midsummer Classic.
Nice truck.
Parts of 6 seasons with the Mariners. Mark Langston posted 5 seasons of 200 strikeouts. He led the league 3 times, an All-Star in 1987. And he's kind enough to join us here in the booth. One of the top 50 greatest Mariners all time, and the best hair of any of the 50. Mark, great to see you, man.
Good to see you, Aaron. Oh, good to see you guys, man. So good to see you guys.
Well, we are spoiled. We get to see Mark quite a bit over the course of the year. He's the analyst on radio for the Angels, so it's always a treat to see you. But it's great to see you here in Seattle.
Yep.
What did today mean to you?
Just getting the call to come up here and be part of this event was just such a blessing. You know, you go through a course of a career, and you never know how anything plays out, and certainly the starting point is always the most important thing.
One down as Fortes grounds out.
Were you up here Thursday night when everyone got together for the dinner?
I'm still recovering from Thursday night. Yes, Thursday night took me down. Yeah, it was so much fun, so many stories. It was so good to catch up with everybody, and I had such a great time doing that. And it definitely took me down. I had to recover, and I'm ready to go here tonight.
Who was somebody that you saw at the dinner where you thought, man, I haven't seen this guy forever?
I have not seen Mike Moore forever. And Mike Moore and I, obviously we played together. He pushed me so hard. He was such a dominant guy. And I brought up this story to Mike Moore. I'll never forget it. We were both drafted in 1981. We both go to Instructional League. And Mike was a 1-1, man. He was the #1 pick in the draft. And we show up, and he's got a 280 ZX. And we were like, that's what a 1-1 looks like right there. It was the most impressive thing that all of us, we were just blown away about Mike. And so it's been great to catch up on, I would tell him a story and then he would play off of that, and we were back and forth, just so many great memories of what we did here, in Seattle. And Mike Moore was a big part of it. He's still a horse,
I can
man.
still see the car keys hanging out of his pocket right there.
He's such a big dude, man. And the velocity is one thing in today's game, and you'll see 97s to 100s. He was back in the day before they got it out of your hand. He was a 97, 98 guy. So you're looking at 102, 103 in today's game. Mike Moore was truly one of the hardest throwing pitchers in the game of baseball.
Mate, I mean, you punched out over 200 your rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it all played. I had a really good breaking ball. I pitched hard inside. Right. I was aggressive out there. I came right at guys and tried to pound them inside. Believe me, I led the league in walks and I led it in strikeouts. There's a dark side to that, striking out everybody. But for me, it was, my breaking ball was, if I got ahead, I felt like it just came right off of my same tunnel as my fastball. So that's where I got some swings and misses.
Palacios at the plate as this is fouled away. Mark, to speak candidly with you about this, you have a case to be a Mariners Hall of Famer. I mean, you are one of the most underappreciated Mariners in the history of the game. Your early years were spent here, parts of 6 years with the Mariners. Sure. And when you go to Mark's baseball reference page, it's incredible. I mean, we think about now guys striking out 200 a season, which is not commonplace, but it does happen. Right. And as hyphen reference, I mean, you look at your page and it's 200 plus, leading the league. I mean, you were instant impact for the Mariners right away. You were a real force to be reckoned with when your whole career, but especially when you first got in the league with the M's. Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. We were very talented. I felt like that draft in 1981. So many of the guys, I saw them all on Thursday night. We all came up from Double-A together. You had the Alvin Davises, the Harold Reynolds, Phil Bradley, Jim Presley, Dave Valley. We all came up together and experienced the same things that we were all going through at a very young age. So to be able to have that group to share it with was so special for me. And obviously my years here with Seattle. Alvin Davis is my room. We're back in the day. This is how far back we go. We had roommates back in those days. Everybody's got their own suite now. We actually had roommates. And Alvin,
in the big leagues, right?
In the big leagues. Right. This is not the minor leagues. This is the major leagues. We had roommates, and Alvin was my roommate. I couldn't have asked for anything better than that, to have a guy like Alvin Davis as my roommate. Tough starts, coming back, and AD would just ice me down and talk me off the ledge of some bad things. And to be able to be with a great hitter like Alvin, to be able to pick his brain and talk about scenarios and situations, that's what really, I think, progressed my career, is to be able to talk to a great hitter about his business. So I'm truly blessed to be able to have AD as my homie and my roomie.
You answered that beautifully, by the way, as I basically said to you, you were incredible. Talk about yourself. so great job, Mark.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you came up all this group of players together, and it sounds like you built some massive relationships.
Sure.
Then the trade happened.
Yes.
And that's what brought Randy Johnson to Seattle. So that must have been, first of all, were you in shock when that happened? Were you obviously emotional about that?
Yep.
I mean, it gets talked about a lot, right?
It's my therapist around the corner. Yeah, I mean, get a chance to watch the video that they had. I checked a few boxes on that video, not just as a player, but I think I was sitting at home plate when Luis Sojo came home on one. So there was a few moments.
Oh, there's some artwork.
Yeah. I think before we were at travel, and I put some paper up over the one in there. No, yes, being traded. You come up through a system. You think you'll play your whole career with that organization. I thought I'd be a Seattle Mariner my entire career. I didn't even question that. I always thought that would happen. Business is business, and it came down to business side of it. And I got traded, and Randy's the return, and it worked out, really well for Seattle. Obviously, getting Randy back and turned out to be the best left-handed pitcher ever in the history of the game. Randy and I have had a few conversations this week about it, and you know, and even when I was traded to Montreal, I would get there, and those guys in Montreal would go, "Hey, Randy Johnson just won yesterday. What are you going to do?" So they would press me on that. But certainly, you know, getting traded for the unit is still a nice, memorable moment here for the Mariners.
On our Snoqualmie Supermo, I think we have an equipment malfunction of some sort here. Whoop. That's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna need a new one.
I'll tell you what, the Mariners, I watch this team again. I still do stuff with the Angels, so we see the Seattle Mariners a lot. They have got to find the gas pedal. This team is way too talented. We all say it. Every team that comes in is waiting for this team to go on a run. And, you know, I think at the beginning of the year, winning the division, that's the last thing you thought about for the Seattle Mariners. You thought, okay, the pennant, potential getting to the World Series. And to see them not stepping on that gas pedal yet has been a little concerning. And again, it's grateful that the AL is a mess this year. It's a total mess, and it keeps you around. But you're just waiting for this club to kind of, let's go. It's time to get going. You've let other teams hang around, and so you feel like it's time for the Mariners to take control of what you think should have been theirs at the beginning of the year, but you got to earn it.
Now, there's no doubt on all accounts. This is boxed now by Cal. Not sure if there's still an issue going on there. Hey, speaking of the Mariners and your perspective on them, you know the Mariners' new right fielder better than we do. What can you tell us about Taylor Ward?
Taylor Ward, fantastic guy. You'll love him. He's a quiet guy. He shows up, plays hard every day. He's going to give you a quality at bat every time he steps into that batter's box. He's going to grind pitchers out. Something I think this Mariner team needs. They need a guy that won't swing and miss much. He's going to make the opposing team throw some pitches, and Taylor Ward possesses that. He's a focused young man. I think you guys are going to love Taylor Ward. I thought that was a really good move, just from the standpoint of you've got a guy that will walk, will get on base. This team needs a few guys to get on base, so Taylor Ward definitely checks the box for that one.
It is wild how he has kind of swapped or switched his profile as a hitter now, right? You saw him hit 36 homers last year, and now he gets on base all the time.
He completely flipped the switch. And obviously the strikeouts were more of a problem for him last year. I think that's where he tried to switch it around. And he has been. There's been a little more power coming from Taylor Ward in recent, you know, obviously a little bit more in the second half here for Taylor Ward. But, you know, he's a good player, and he's going to help this ball club.
You have watched the Mariners for so long now. Is there a Mariners starting pitcher you most enjoy watching?
I tell everybody that I see that your staff, I always talk about to any kids, you want to learn how to pitch, you watch the Seattle Mariners starting staff. These guys all attack fastball. They all throw. Let's get that out right there. Josh Naylor reeling it in, getting that third out. But it's true. Their rotation is good as anybody. They throw strikes with fastballs. That's where the game has to get back to. Don't have to spin. You throw strikes with your fastball. Nobody does it better than the Mariners pitching.
One of the greatest lefties in franchise history, Mark Langston. Mark, thank you so much.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you for having me up.
The pride of Kennedy Catholic High School in Burien, Floyd Bannister pitched 4 seasons for the Mariners with a 3.75 ERA, a 1982 All-Star. He led the American League that year, 209 strikeouts. Floyd Bannister, one of the top 50 greatest Mariners of all time. Mariners leading on a Josh Naylor home run, beginning the bottom of the 3rd. Cole Young leads it off. New pitcher on the mound, Tyler Wells, on this sudden bullpen night for the Rays. Griffin Jacks was the scheduled starting pitcher, and roughly an hour or so before first pitch, it was announced that Griffin Jacks was scratched because of elbow discomfort.
Yeah, Griffin Jacks having a really good year, 3.6 ERA. It's interesting too because the Rays had transitioned him, which is kind of weird when you think about it, right? From a bullpen arm to a starting pitcher. They said, look, you're not recovering the right way when you're going back-to-back days. We're not getting to all of those pitches you like to throw. That couple different breaking balls, so they say, hey, why don't we have you start again? Even though he had the struggles in the bullpen, usually it's the other way around. But now all of a sudden he's got some elbow issues.
Well, the Mariners just saw the guy they traded or gave up for him, Taj Bradley, for the Twins, having a really nice year.
And that's one of the, you see the team ERA, that's one of the Rays' strengths. Heading towards the postseason this 2026 season.
3 balls and a strike on Cole Young. So for Kevin Cash, he and his staff had to really scramble and figure out very close to game time how to approach this game and piece it all together. That's over the plate. The Rays have the second best record in baseball. They lead the American League. Only the Brewers have a better record this year. Young swings and misses at the top of the zone. Leadoff man sat down. Well, the Mariners' 50 Seasons Pin Series continues tomorrow afternoon. Add a limited edition 50 Seasons Gold Pin to your collection. Thanks to KeyBank, available to the first 10,000 fans before the Mariners take on these Rays in the finale. Mariners.com/pins. Final game of the homestand. High ball 1 to Randy Arozarena. Well, this is one of those nights where you really hope the Mariners can take advantage of the situation with Griffin Jax.
Yeah.
Now, a bullpen game can be dicey, right? It's a different look for a hitter, no doubt. You're facing so many different arms. Randy out to center field. Mullins has room in front of the warning track, and there is out number 2. A message now from Jack in the Box.
Don't get FOMO. Get my Philly style bonus Jack combos and new Philly Munchie Meal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
But I would guess that most teams would rather take their chances on a bullpen day than facing
Absolutely.
a guy like Griffin Jax.
Well, covering 9 innings too in the bullpen, even the best bullpens, the guys who are top 5 ERA, you always, if you have to get that deep into a bullpen, usually it's about 4 of the 8 are going to be just backhand wipeout stuff. And you try and get into those other 4 and get some pitches you can handle. Guys who aren't pitching in close games, like a 1-0 game.
And it also really jeopardizes you if you're the Rays in this case for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. But on the flip side, it can be challenging. You're not going to get the same look at the guys second, third time through. It's hard to game plan.
Quick ground ball up the middle behind the bag, and Canzone is out number 3. Jim Beattie, right-handed starting pitcher, 7 seasons in a Mariners uniform, 30 complete games, the 4th most in club history.
It's the summer sales event.
Dave Henderson was the first ever draft pick by the Mariners in 1977. And the one and only Hindu. So active in our community, he helped Rick Riz co-found Toys for Kids charity. Following his playing career, Hindu served as an analyst on our broadcast. Passed away in 2015. One of the great smiles the city has ever seen, Dave Henderson. Jonathan Aranda leads things off. He homered last night, his 15th on the season. An incredible career for Hindu, close to 200 home runs, a World Series champion. Broken bat fly ball with some real carry to it. Man, it sounded like a broken bat, sure didn't sail like one.
All the way to the warning track.
I'm getting Ryan Roland-Smith flashbacks right there.
Yeah. Just not the khaki shorts. Yeah, it looks like he got this ball off the barrel. And maybe got some barrel to it. You're right. I heard the same sound you did too, Goldie. That kind of that broken bat.
Saw a little toothpick flying off there. Junior Caminero with 1 out and nobody on. Second time he has come up with the bases empty. Well, that's how Kirby got him out the first time around.
Yeah, it just kept expanding. That sweeper got further and further away from home plate. Junior Caminero just kept chasing.
Big chopper over to Donovan at third base. From the cut of the grass, Kirby has held Caminero 0 for 2 so far. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, or the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Beautiful night here inside T-Mobile Park. Mariners leading on a Josh Naylor homer. Victor Mesa Jr. taking upstairs for ball 1. We have one more guest who will be joining us on this 50th season celebration tonight. In the top of the 5th inning, former Mariner closer J.J. Putz will be swinging by.
Former teammate of mine. Looking forward to having him sit in the booth.
He will tell us nothing but hyphen stories.
Yeah, that's right.
For an entire half inning.
I did get a text after the home run derby last night from him, so he was happy for me. No, it'd be good to see him. Saw him last night, but good to see him in the booth.
One and two. Well, this ball is swatted. Mesa to right field and way up and out of here. That was cranked. You don't see too many go that high in the lower bowl out there in right field. 412.
Yeah, that ball was crushed. Victor Mesa Jr. He's a guy, he's so aggressive. He's in swing mode all the time. That was number 9 for him. That was just a mistake. Pitcher was supposed to be up and in. Actually up in the strike zone. He can get to that pitch.
That guy.
That's a pretty good pitch, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's up, but a guy like Victor Mesa, again, he pretty good back to ball, by the way. I mean, he's really aggressive. And they're trying to get him up and in. He's getting those foul balls early in the at-bat, and that pitch is just kind of hanging out middle, but he was sitting on it, that's for sure. That's the one area with George Kirby. We saw him last outing with 7 innings, just the 3 punch-outs, but he was trying to get that hitter to the top of the strike zone. Finally, he started getting it later on in the game.
Well, with Simpson's speed, you got no chance there as he threads the needle, an infield base hit.
Now, this is one you just put in the back pocket with Simpson. By the way, when he first got to the big leagues, he saw a lot more of that, just kind of slapping the ball, putting it in play. They wanted him to drive the ball a little bit more, have more of that hit tool. Not necessarily hit for more power, but the fact that him just kind of trying to slap the ball into the infield and run. See if he takes off right here. He did have a time early in this season where he just kind of lost that confidence, as fast as he is, to take that, to get that stolen base. He's having a tough time reading pitches. Kind of got out of his head. He started stealing bags again.
Kirby makes a move that way. Yeah, he also, during a time earlier this year, he was just really struggling to get on base. And that's one of the issues for Chandler Simpson. Can he get on base enough? Overall this year, good on base percentage, 3 1/4, batting close to 300. This ball is squared up on a line out to right field. Simpson making the turn, now retreats back to second base. Strong throw comes in from Taylor Ward. 3 straight hits with 2 outs. Mariners TV is presented by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. What a majestic looking night out on the Sound. So Kirby has had 3 straight base hits, including a homer with 2 outs. Now facing the catcher, Nick Fortes. That spins him around. Breaking ball that backed up on him. Kirby's also gotten ball 1 to every hitter this inning, which doesn't happen very often. Simpson taking third. Double steal is on. Throw to second. Tag applied. Safe. Simpson to third. Mullins to second.
Well, plus speed on both bases. And Chandler Simpson talked about him being aggressive. He lost a little bit of that aggressiveness. He was overthinking it in regards to stealing bases as fast as he is. This time getting a huge jump. George Kirby, that big leg kick. Really no chance on either base, and then Mullins, the trail runner, right behind him. George trying to find that sweeper. Kind of rolling out the side of his hand right now.
Kirby and Cal and Kirby sliding, and did somebody come up with it? Cal Raleigh on the slip and slide makes the catch right in front of the dugout. A grown-up playing a little kid's game. Cal Raleigh on the all-50 team. And he's got a dirty uniform to prove it. Nice play, Cal Raleigh.
At T-Mobile.
Julio goes after the first pitch. Skies this out to right field. Mesa is underneath it. Let's go back to that final out. Runners at second and third as this ball is popped up.
Yeah, first of all, Cal's kind of lost it, and George can see him, so he's going to be going hard for this. And Cal getting on his horse a little bit late, banging the pole. He's fired up, and then Brian Wood let him know. But you look at George right here. By the way, staying with that ball, you're always taught as a pitcher, especially to, not that you're looking really at what your infielders are doing, but stay with that ball until you get called off. The big dumper landing on top of George.
And not where you want to be.
No, that's right.
Now, Cal looked like he was kind of
Amazing
smiling
catch
at the end there. And maybe there's something to it that we don't know, but I was struck immediately by that and the amount of emotion that Cal Raleigh showed. We don't see him show that kind of emotion often at all. I mean, think about how that inning was trending. You had the 2-out home run. You had consecutive base hits, the double steal. Second and third with 2 outs. Kirby was trying to get out of a jam, and Cal Raleigh with an incredible catch. So that was a big 3rd out. This ball is out to the gap in left center field. Hey, who is this guy? Josh Naylor stands up at second base. An Oppo gap double. A home run earlier.
Well, we were just visited by Mark Langston here in the booth, who covers the Angels, and he kept saying, hey, look, these Mariners have to put their foot on the gas pedal. You know, we talk about the offense in the middle of this order, and Josh Naylor all of a sudden start banging the ball gap to gap. Good things are going to happen.
On the corner, and a challenge coming here by Fortes behind the plate. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch on strike.
Tampa has 2 more remaining.
Very much in the strike zone on the corner. Naylor is really dancing around, and now gets Wells to step off and look. Well, if the home run and double from Josh Naylor feels arresting in a good way, it's the first time since April 20th this year that Naylor has had multiple extra base hits in the same game. He had a pair of doubles that day. So good to see that form of Josh Naylor, a version of Josh that we saw very often last year after being acquired via the trade. You know he can do it. He's done plenty in his career. This is slapped down the line and slices foul. Nice catch made there.
Let's go. Give it to the kids. Or is there 4 of them around? No, I'm good. I'm holding on to that. That's a good grab. 50 seasons.
I mean, it's a ball caught on 50 seasons night.
That's right.
It changes people.
That's true.
Naylor at second, 1 out. Very high. Donovan, a loop into left center. Mullins the catch, and Naylor has to stay put. The next Mariners homestand gets started with a marquee interleague matchup. Julio and the Mariners take on PCA and the Cubs. You can lock in your seats. Mariners.com/tickets. That's a fun homestand. Cubs and Phillies.
Yeah. But it doesn't get any easier. We're talking about this road trip coming up. They come right back home. You got the Cubs, Phillies, new look Phillies.
Cal going after a high one, fouls it back. Luis Rise now on the Phillies. Cubs getting Kevin Gausman at the deadline. Blue Jays starter. There goes Naylor. Pitch is high, throw is high, and Naylor swipes third base. Taking matters into his own hands tonight, Josh Naylor. A homer, a double, and now a bag.
Sometimes it just becomes a matter of time. When he got to the Mariners at the end of last year, he stole third base 8 times. Look at this, jumping off, just timing up when Wells is going home. Wells is really predictable.
No scorpion slide for Naylor.
That's right. No blood on the nose.
Change up just off the plate. 1-2 to count Raleigh. Go ahead run at third base. 2 down. In the air, Mullins charging in on this to the gap in left center. Slide, a collision, and does one of them have it? Simpson and Mullins. It's Mullins who makes the catch, and it keeps a run off the board. Mike Moore selected #1 overall by the Mariners in 1981. 7 seasons with the club and a franchise record 56 complete games. He was one of the most dominating closers in franchise history, a 2007 All-Star. MVP votes thanks to a 1.38 ERA and 40 saves, his 101 career saves, third all-time in Mariners history. Our Wells Fargo active Mike, we welcome to the booth, JJ Putz. JJ, welcome back, man.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Great to see you, buddy.
I know.
Love it.
A couple of former teammates you want to just start telling stories right now? We want to hear everything about high.
We can't talk about those type of stories.
No, I will say, Goldie, when I first got to the big leagues, this is still in the era, and you're still around. You work with the D-backs, and times have changed for rookies. When they come up, much more, hey, comfortable, make sure you get acclimated. When I came up, Goldie, I was still in that time where you just sit in your locker and you keep your mouth shut. I will say, JJ, who was, you mentioned 2007, that year he was having, he was like dominant. But I'm telling you, JJ made it very easy for me to feel welcome, feel comfortable out in that bullpen. He was great. So there you go, Goldie.
Well, no wonder he's a top 50 all time.
You're just saying that because I'm sitting next to you right now.
No, I mean, yeah, you had all the, that presence. You were one of the leaders in the clubhouse, but no, you made it very. If I had any dumb question, I'd go to JJ and get a good answer.
It was probably easy for me because I probably had a lot of dumb questions too when I first got up, and unfortunately, guys like Arthur Rhodes put you in your place real fast.
Well, JJ, man, congratulations.
Thank you.
What an incredible honor. Your time here was so special. You were so effective and dominant out of that Mariners bullpen. What does this all mean to you?
I mean, it's when I got the call from Kevin Martinez, I was blown away. And then, when we got here, we went to like the welcoming dinner, and just seeing the guys that are on this list. I was fortunate enough to play with 3 Hall of Famers that are on this list. Ichiro, Edgar, and Beltre I got to play with. And you're kind of wondering, like, why am I here? Like, these guys are HOFers.
Just fouled at first base. But you must have had a sense of that when you were a player. Obviously, the caliber of teammates you had, and obviously your numbers speak for themselves, and your time here speaks for themselves. But when you found out that you were one of the top 50 all time, was there somebody that you had kind of circled and saying, like, I got to talk to this guy again?
Well, what's weird is we didn't know who was in the top 50 until we got here.
No, are you serious?
Yeah. Texting, you kind of figured like Raul Ibanez, Beltre. So I texted them. I'm like, what day are you guys coming in? Da, da, da. But they wouldn't tell us the rest of the list until we got here.
Interesting.
But it's great. It's great to see like the sheriff, Normie.
Well, speaking of some of these guys, in 2003 when you came up, who was it that you looked towards, who took you under their wing, basically? Who was that? Because that was an era, man. I mean, you coming a couple of years off 2001.
Yeah.
I mean, you had some teams.
Like Shigetoshi Hasegawa was a guy. I was fortunate to play with a lot of good relievers: Jeff Nelson, Arthur Rhodes, Eddie Guardado. A little bit later in my career, but those guys were just like a plethora of knowledge of pitching late in games. And
Randy can't get to it. It's a fair ball into the corner, rattling around. Palacios is holding at second as Arozarena gets to it. Long at bat, a leadoff double.
And so having the knowledge that these guys have, they've been through pretty much every situation. So when something good or bad happens, you could always lean on guys like that.
Right. Goldie, I got to tell you, I will say this, hands down. I would say at least top 3 entrants for a closer was this guy's, man. It gave me goosebumps every time I heard it, and it's not because Australian band AC/DC. When Thunderstruck played in here, any of our viewers right now who remember and had JJ up on all the ribbon boards up here and the big screen, him coming in, and especially in 2007, my first year, that just domination. There was nothing better than that. I'm sorry, man. Thunderstruck here when JJ would come out. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I remember it. When I got named the closer in 06. I didn't have a song. So like Kevin Martinez at the time was like, what are you thinking? And we threw some, and then I came back in for a Mariners Caravan in the winter, and he's like, let me show you something. And it was the video.
This is going into 2007.
Yeah, and I was like,
wow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, so good.
Hey, speaking of goosebumps, when we watched the ceremony play out today, and we had no idea how it would be drawn up, how they would display the 50 players, and having each one of you walk out there being introduced in the custom Mariner letter jacket and standing on the infield. I mean, was there a certain point when you're looking around on that field, looking at the crowd, looking at the players you're surrounded by, and you're saying, this is unbelievable?
It was definitely, you were in awe being out there and just hearing the fans. And you know, walking out of the dugout, you kind of felt like a big leaguer again, which was cool. But yeah, I mean, everything this entire weekend has been so well done, so first class. The way that they laid it out on the field, just looking around, seeing all these great players, and you're sharing a field with them was something I'll never forget.
When you got traded up 2008, you get traded to the Mets. Talk us through that. I mean, that was in the offseason. I remember I was part of the team. How tough was that? I mean, did any of those memories come back when you walk back in here, and obviously being honored as one of the 50 top players? You came up in the Mariners system, you know, developed by the Mariners. Talk us through, you know, those days as well, like when you were all of a sudden shifted onto another team.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I mean, this was my home, and I remember I got the call. I was back in Peoria, Arizona, and our trainer at the time, Rob Nodine, lived just down the street. And I called him and told him I just got traded. He came down. We sat in the garage. I cried. He cried. It was tough. I mean, this is all I knew. But at the end of the day, it's a business decision, and you just got to, you know, do what you got to do.
And tell us about the work you're doing in Arizona right now.
Yeah, special assistant for our president, Derek Hall. I always joke and tell everybody I'm kind of like George Costanza. Nobody really knows what I do.
Love it.
But
it's like a big, hard-throwing George Costanza.
Yeah. I take naps under the desk a lot. But no, we do a lot of community things, season ticket holder events, corporate sponsor events. Try to get to the minor leagues to see the guys and see the front offices of our minor league affiliates. So it's great.
Yeah, Goldie, I did get a text message from JJ after I hit a couple homers last night. JJ, can you tell Goldie what you text me just to?
Oh man, we had a lot of vodka last
night.
Yeah,
you probably did. That's what I was thinking. It was pretty late at night. No, you were very complimentary. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know if I could just.
I'm glad you made him tell everybody the things that you said.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
That,
no, but I will tell you this: that whole suite last night, when you came up, I'm not sure there was anybody more locked in and rooting for somebody to go deep than they all were for you. We're like, just let him get one. You know, and then you just went all ham on that freaking gator, and it was like, that was awesome. Or crocodile. You guys call them crockies. Yeah. No, that was awesome. I was, when I found out you were doing it, I was like, you're nuts.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And
a few people said that.
You didn't disappoint. You showed up.
I had nothing to lose. Like, that's just it. I was like,
I mean, just your pride and integrity, but other than that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I lost all that.
If you watch on a regular basis, you would know there's not much of that left.
So good.
One out of runner at second base for Yandy Diaz, who takes high 1-2. I thought it was a very, very respectable showing for Highfield last night. More than that, man. It was a fantastic showing.
I mean, you made pitchers that never hit so proud.
Well, I mean, how often did we get a chance to hit, man? We never did.
Never.
So of course I'm going to take it up. I didn't care if I roll over 30 of them. Out there hitting in front of a crowd, absolutely, it was a blast.
How about the fans? They stayed.
Yeah,
it was packed house last night for that thing. That was such a cool deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at the reason why.
Well, yeah, they knew the Aussie was going to drop bombs. That's why.
And Ichiro, but mostly Highfield.
Yeah. But how cool was it seeing Ichiro out there early doing his running and playing long toss still?
Yeah, it's an every day.
He's a machine, man. Ageless wonder.
It strikes me as what he's doing now at 52 years old is nearly the same thing that he did when you were in a clubhouse with him.
I mean, he looks exactly the same. I think he hasn't lost a step. Still, he's got pop. Still got a cannon out there, long tossing wall to wall. Incredible.
Kirby missing high once again, 3-2. Palacios, the runner at second base, a leadoff double. Got the teeth of the order coming up here. Aranda on deck, and then Junior Caminero. Tied game in the fifth. Rattled foul. JJ Putz is our guest, former Mariner closer, one of the 50 greatest Mariners of all time. So now the ceremony's over. It's just house money at this point, right? Just have a good time the rest of the night.
Just have a great time. Listening to stories and hit it here. Cafe's packed. It's great.
Long at bat here for Diaz. This will be at least a 10-pitch AB. And Kirby wants a new ball. Kirby's at 93 pitches now with 1 out of the 5th inning.
Yeah, he went 7 that last time out. Just the 3 punch outs, but man, he was efficient. All of a sudden pushing up to the mid-90s here in the 5th.
Three-two.
And this is that part of the lineup too. Yandy Diaz, Aranda, then Junior Caminero. Looking at that, and we talked about Goldie. I mean, we saw it last night and tonight as well, man. If you can get Junior Caminero with no one on, much easier to go about your business.
Diaz, a pretty extreme out of zone contact rate as we have seen. He can get to some pitches even if he doesn't put them in play. He does this time. Emerson by the bag at second. 2 outs. Palacios into third. Well, we got a fun one tonight. The Muckleshoot Casino Resort Pen Report as JJ Putz is with us in the booth. 3rd most saves all time in franchise history. Andres Munoz is coming for you, though.
I think he's going to get there pretty quick.
Here comes Pete Woodworth out for a quick visit. JJ, man, it's been great having you here. Congratulations on this incredible accomplishment, a wonderful career, and it's great to see it paid off on a night like this.
Yeah, thank you very much. Always a pleasure coming back here. Great to see you, bro. Awesome. Yeah.
And I hope you never remember any of your text messages again.
Yeah. Put me right on the spot.
That's great. JJ Putz kind enough to join us here as the bullpen is up. 95 pitches. Rucker is warming. And Kirby is given a chance to get through this 5th inning. He's at 25 pitches. But he is now facing Aranda. And you get the feeling that if Aranda were to reach, that would be the end of the road.
Well, the Mariners bullpen, look, you got the off day on Monday before they start that road trip. And Ferrer threw last night, just threw just the 9 pitches. Bizzardo only threw the 4 pitches. Dominguez threw 16. So bullpen's pretty fresh. You have to cover some ground here. Hopefully George can get through this 5th inning.
That was an 11-pitch at bat for Diaz. That one well up out of the zone. 2 outs, runner at third.
Pitch.
Finds the corner.
See where he goes here. That sinker into left. It's been inconsistent for George Kirby. Throws a lot of that sweeper curveball down and in. That's a pitch around. You can get those hands to down and in right there and drive that ball into right field.
A swing and a miss. Well located sweeper. Aranda strikes out. Runner stranded at third. Harold Reynolds, fan favorite, slick fielding second baseman. 10 seasons in Seattle, 3 Gold Gloves, a couple of All-Star appearances, and the 3rd most stolen bases in franchise history.
With a new Toyota from
The insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance. Over 1,000 players have suited up all time for the Mariners. Top 50 of them honored tonight inside T-Mobile Park. A pair of MVP winners and Cy Young Award winners as well. And 6 no-hitters in franchise history. Veteran lefty Steven Matz, now working out of the Rays bullpen, takes over. He faces 9-1-2 in the Mariners order.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for Steven Matz. Was supposed to be in part of this rotation. Was at the beginning of the year, signed a 2-year deal. Sent to the bullpen. This is that bullpen. You know, when we talked about getting deeper into it, where you can take advantage. Some guys who have been struggling. When you have that bullpen day, they're going to cover 9 innings.
Got Emerson swinging around and spinning like a top. One down. Word now from AAA Washington.
Yeah, AAA, my hoopty is down, man.
Oh, your hoopty. We got a truck on the way.
My hoopty rolling, tailpipe dragging, heat don't work, and my...
One down, top of the order, Taylor Ward. In play, Palacios. 2 outs. Here comes Cole Young. Strike one of the Mariners' second baseman. Both sides 1 run, both sides 4 hits. Dueling solo home runs in this game. Josh Naylor for the Mariners. Victor Mesa Jr. for the Rays. Two and two. Does he go? No, he does not. Full count on Young. In the air, out towards left field, Chandler Simpson. Side sat down and ordered by Matz. Left fielder Phil Bradley, a former 3rd-round pick by the Mariners out of the University of Missouri, where he was also a standout quarterback, an All-Star in 1985.
Congrats.
A very special Chevy Silverado drive of the game. We take you back to last night. Our very own Ryan Roland Smith in the Alumni Home Run Derby. Just over the wall at the horn. Hyphen. Yes. Jackpot round. Walk it off.
Right at the buzzer. Both of them, by the way, the clock was counting down. I was able to sneak the first one in the 2-minute round and then that last one in the jackpot round.
Michael Rucker taking over for Kirby here in the 6th. Hyphen, you are moving, first of all, exceptionally well today.
Oh, yeah.
You feel good? You still running on adrenaline?
Yeah, everyone keeps saying, oh, you must be, pretty sore. Even Mitch Haniger's like, oh, you're pretty stiff, sore. I'm like, I'm actually pretty good. I don't know. My neck's a little tight. That's about it. I will say.
Well, yeah, you watch all those balls fly out to right field.
Yeah. I had to get my head on the swivel watching that.
Donovan bobbles and Caminero, an infield base hit. Down to the Ford Sports Desk, Angie.
Yeah, I'm doing the best I can to explain what I just saw here. So this is a one-piece anime card. This is this is Julio showing me what this is, and the gentleman asked me to take a photo, and I was very obliging here to do this for the information. A Monkey D. Luffy PSA 10. So I'm not exactly sure which is worth more money, that card or Julio's bat, but an exchange was made, gentlemen. An exchange was made.
All right. Well, if it's not Gummy Nerds.
Yeah, I know. A Monkey D. Luffy. And I don't know what this is, but I know.
You're speaking with great authority, though. I know my teenage
kids, exactly. I know my teenage kid will know and yell at me later. I actually had to, it's spelled Luffy, and I said Luffy, and then the guy laughed at me. So
well, you should, Angie, you know you should be embarrassed by that. I mean, honestly.
I know.
All right. Well, I guess you never know. Two guys very pleased with the outcome of that. This is Victor Mesa Jr. at the plate. It's ruled an error on Donovan, by the way, so a man is aboard with nobody out. Mesa, his 9th home run of the season, coming his last time up. 1 ball and 2 strikes his way. Trying to chop down a high limb. That's one out.
Big first out right here from Michael Rucker. Pitching a high leverage spot. This is that 6th inning. It's 1-1. Offense isn't getting going just yet. Hopefully for the Mariners. Trying to keep this at 1-1. They'll do a softer part of your bullpen.
So 1 out and 1 on for Chandler Simpson. Hyphen, when you were in the midst of your 2-minute round, was there a thought at any point it just might not happen tonight?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, listen, the first couple swings I took, they hit, right center pretty deep. I hit one off right below the yellow line. After that one, I was like, man, is this all I got? Because I felt like I was getting it. And I'm like, man, it's just a little too deep. I was trying to get, pull it. There's Danny Farquhar. Big shout out to him. And we got dialed in down in the cage, trying to figure out the height. But you know what he did, though? I noticed he started pitching up a little bit. So I get under the ball. He hooked me up. And then I snuck in that first one. And I just, look, Goldie, I'm not going to lie, man. Biggest bat flip you've ever seen. Why not? Soak it all in. I was just glad I could hit those little khaki shorts, man. I didn't test it out before I got out there. I had no idea.
This is into center field. Caminero into second. Simpson, his second hit tonight. Let's see that bat flip.
Well, yeah, this is the. Oh yeah, this is the second one. This is the jackpot round. Oh yeah, look at this.
By the way,
tackling
if people,
oh, that's what I was thinking here. This is insane.
Whenever people at home, when you watch the open of the broadcast, when
crocodile
Hyphen,
death roll there.
when Hyphen and I are on camera and the field's behind us and we're talking with a stick microphone, when we go to break, when Hyphen nails an open, it's the same guy you saw right there. It's the same thing.
The pressure's on.
He's just coursing with adrenaline constantly. That's just who he is, and that's what makes him so good.
Do the death roll here in the booth.
Yeah, we got a tackle dummy up here and everything.
Maybe I should just bring the inflatable croc up here and just sits up here.
That should definitely.
Would you be okay with that?
Should be pinned behind you at all times.
Yes. No, it was a blast last night. I'm not going to lie. I was having so much fun.
This is a chopper, almost picks off Caminero. Throw is into third, and they get Caminero there. Unique second out.
Get that lead out, keeping only one man in scoring position. Again, big inning right here from Michael Rucker. He's of late he's had to pitch in some games and a little bit of a blowout to him, or when their team's losing, but trying to hold it to 1-1.
Cal out to the mound. You can secure your spot for tomorrow morning's Legend Photo Day VIP experience presented by Daktronics. Your chance to snag photos with franchise icons like Ichiro, Randy, Felix, many more. Mariners.com/photo day to get your tickets. Hopefully there will be a crocodile down there as well you can pose with.
Hey, he became famous last night.
Looks like the Rays are going to their bench. Liam Hicks, and we normally see in there, but getting a break tonight. Until now, he's batting for his fellow catcher Nick Fortes.
And last time we saw Liam Hicks, that was with the Miami Marlins.
Deadline deal for Tampa Bay.
That was that big priority. I remember that was getting discussed even before the All-Star break. They wanted to bolster that catcher. They really didn't have the guy behind the plate to solidify that spot. But I mean, Liam Hicks was DHing a lot with the Miami Marlins. He will DH with the Rays as well. Just one of that left-handed bats and potent offense, hit 282.
Yeah, pretty wild. I mean, when have you ever seen a backup catcher lead off DHing when he's not
right
behind the plate? And that's what it was for Liam Hicks when we saw him in that series before the All-Star break. But having a really nice year offensively.
A really tough out. This could be biggest out of the game right here. 1-1 game here in the 6th. Liam Hicks really tough to strike out.
He is one of the few players in baseball with more walks than strikeouts. And on cue, a 3-0 count. Just scrapes the top. EQC Tracer has it as a strike. Ball 4. Rays have him loaded up. Here's Palacios. Big spot here for Rucker and the Mariners. Palacios has walked and doubled tonight. Two outs, bases loaded, all tied. Now it really got away, 1-1. Rucker ahead now. Kirby done after 5. Rucker taking over here in the 6th.
See if I can get that big curveball down below the hands, down and in. Palacios get that swing and miss. Tried it.
Count evens. Two. Just got a piece of it. Curveball again.
This is a tough one. You throw 2 well below the strike zone. Palacios makes contact with that last one. He's probably going to get a steady dose of that pitch, but you don't want to try and be perfect with it. You know, that's when all of a sudden you go backspin it and hang it up in the strike zone. There you go. Stay right there, man. It is exhausting though when you're trying to land the exact same pitch multiple times. Because all of a sudden you get those kind of swings like that. You try and make it even a little bit bigger, or you try and place it at the bottom of the strike zone, and that's where it starts to hang.
More tiring throwing the same pitch multiple times in a row?
I just think mentally it's a situation where, you know, in the back of your mind as you're about to throw it, you kind of, you know, have that visual of them swinging and missing. You know exactly where you want to throw it, and it's just instinctual. You want to draw a little bit too much, go a little bit too quick.
This
like
ball
that.
is laced. Another curve, and Palacios was ready for it this time. Simpson is in to score. Mullins behind him, and the Rays have taken the lead. A pivotal point in this game with the bases loaded in the 6th inning, and it's now 3-1 Tampa Bay.
That's exactly my point right there. You try and do a little bit more than what you did the last 2 pitches. Your arm gets left behind. Ball spins in the middle of the strike zone. Palacios has, by the way, seen some pretty good ones. Seen the spin, see the action of the ball. He's able to crush into right field, man. That's a big blow to the Mariners.
So the Rays have him on the corners, and they will go to their bench again. Ryan Vilade will bat here for Carson Williams. That just misses off the corner. How do you balance the whatever it was it 4 straight curveballs, 4 or 5?
Yeah.
If that's your best pitch and that's the pitch to go to, how do you balance it with, well, he's seen it now that many times in a row?
I think with Michael Rucker, and the thing is with Palacios, And look, Cal knows this as well. Palacios can do some damage and make contact at the top of the strike zone. So if you're Michael Rucker, you're in a 2-2 count, and you never really want to go to 3-2 because then you're going to get cornered a little bit. But in that situation, you've got to be comfortable going, elevating, changing eye level, and then getting right back to that breaking ball.
Donovan gives some ground. The short way to second just in time. Round number 3. One of the most beloved Mariners, Mr. Mariner, first baseman Alvin Davis, 1984 American League Rookie of the Year. His 47-game on-base streak to begin a career still stands as a major league record today.
When you give someone your word.
A New York kid who made a name for himself in Seattle, our very own Dave Valley. Second-round pick by the Mariners, went on to play for a full decade here in Seattle. He was the catcher for Chris Bosio's no-hitter in 1993, just the second ever in franchise history. And, of course, a guy that we see all the time up here on the broadcast row. Congratulations to Dave Valley, one of the top 50 players all time.
Yeah, very cool. I wonder when he found out. He didn't really. I mean, was he letting you know or what?
Well, this ball is caught on a slide. You're asking a question like he would have told us, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to get to.
Miss off the end of the bat. Chandler Simpson busting in. Really nice catch. Just trying to get something going. Just the one run. Josh Naylor home run.
Taylor Walls was scratched from the original starting lineup because of low back tightness. That's why Carson Williams started the game at shortstop. He was pinch hit for. And now it is Walls who takes over for Ryan Valet, the man who batted for Williams. So the Rays are having all kinds of moving parts tonight. A bullpen game, multiple players off their bench now. In fact, they only have one player left on their bench. But it's working. They're winning 3-1.
That's wore down Michael Rucker in that 6th inning. Really good at bats, lengthy inning. Lazio staying in that at bat against all those curveballs. That's the difference.
Liam Hicks takes over behind the plate. Really set up outside for that. Our EQC tracer does show it off the plate. This is clubbed out towards center field, and Mullins making a running catch. 2 outs. Tonight's smile moment. Now, how good is this? Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, supporting healthy smiles across Washington. The one and only Rick Riz, our very own, finding out tonight that he will be the next member of the Mariners Hall of Fame. 41 years behind the microphone. This is Rick's final season. An incredible honor and certainly well deserved.
Yeah, very cool.
Rick made the declarative statement tonight that he will be the shortest member of the Mariners Hall of Fame. He also described tonight as the greatest night of his life, getting that news on the field. And they still got the bow tie all the way cinched up. Now that is a Mariners Hall of Fame. That is on the corner. Strike 3 called, and Julio waited too long. He waited too long to challenge. And here comes Dan Wilson. Dan is not pleased with that call from Emil Jimenez. And Dan is really hot about this. The clock is ticking on Dan Wilson now. There's something about Lou Piniella when he's in the house. And there he goes. As mad as we have ever seen Dan Wilson. And then some. And now Manny's joining in. Well, something was said there by Jimenez, you can tell. And now Manny, who came to bail out his manager, he might need to watch out.
Yeah, man, he said something right there. But Manny was just like, hang on a minute. I mean, Dan Wilson was just ejected in that last series.
All right.
In that bench clearance.
So it is ruled strike 3. Boy.
Wow. Boom. Ball gets made.
1,000. I mean, it's not even.
What?
He has to wait for it to be ruled a strike. It was not an instantaneous strike 3 called by Jimenez, which is not a problem as long as you allow the batter to still challenge in an adequate period of time. That seems like a real whiff by Jimenez behind the plate. Pretty clear as day. He has ejected Dan Wilson. This portion of the game, and what a portion it is, brought to you by Northwest Buick GMC. See your Northwest GMC dealer today. And by Amazon. Spend less on your kids for back to school. (3-1) top of the 7th as we stay here after that ejection. Now you remember last year it was against the Rays in St. Pete.
That's right.
Lou Piniella was in the stands, and Dan got the heave-ho in that game. And well, a lot of those things line up once again here tonight. And Dan Wilson will be watching the game from his office the rest of the way.
Yeah, that was definitely justified, though, man. That was getting there. Look at that replay. How quick Julio turned around and tapped his helmet.
You know, there is not a definitive count for how long a hitter or a catcher or pitcher has to challenge, but it is believed to be somewhere in just a couple of seconds you are allowed. And that certainly was, I mean, not even close from the moment that Jimenez rung him up for strike 3 called. Because if you're Julio, it's as borderline of a pitch as there is. You have to wait to find out, was that called a strike or called a ball? And they're still booing. This is by the bag. Emerson on the run. Well, don't miss your chance to sit in the J-Rod squad presented by Adidas. Special section and center field available every game. T-Mobile Park right here. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, you can score a T-shirt featuring this new design for the second half. Mariners.com/J-Rod. I've not heard an umpire in T-Mobile Park booed for as long of a period of time as this. Multiple batters after the fact. They're still going. Sir Anthony Dominguez, amidst all this, is on the mound. Wow. And a challenge coming here. Is this going to be granted? I don't think Jimenez saw it.
Wow.
He either didn't see it or just simply did not grant it. And now here comes a third base umpire in Kevin Cash. Oh, now if so, the challenge is being granted. My guess is Jimenez did not see the challenge, and that's why the third base umpire and the crew chief Doug Eddings came running down. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Oh man, the dugout is hot over here. I mean, guys are spitting seeds, screaming, everything you can imagine from the dugout, guys.
Oh, look at Luke Raley.
That is unbelievable. First of all, a situation, and you mentioned him not seeing it or not paying attention to see if Aranda wants to challenge. Now, with Julio, maybe there was a situation where he tapped his helmet and stalled a little bit and then vocally said, hey, I want to challenge. And maybe he missed that tap of the helmet. Because thinking about that with Aranda too, he tapped with his right hand. But the fact that you have another umpire come in and say, hey, listen, you've got to give him the challenge right there. Man, that, no wonder Angie talking about the dugout being hot.
But, you know, good on Doug Eddings.
Right.
In that
I
particular
get that
situation.
for sure. But man, one after the other, just like that, within a matter of a minute or two.
They are still booing our home plate umpire. All Julio can do is watch. I've never heard anything like this inside T-Mobile Park for an umpire.
Well, I think too, and talking about Dan Wilson with the ejection, Drake got ejected the other night with the bench clearance when Gabe Spire was thrown out.
Julio cutting across, and Julio can't make the catch. Ward backs him up and holds it to a single. All right, let's go back to the Julio challenge and this sequence of time.
Well, I want to see if he, first of all, let's get a look at it. So, strike 3.
You can't.
No, I mean, wow, that's, yeah. There's got to be an explanation right here. I mean, he wasn't paying attention right there.
He just clearly
missed it. He put his hands up, palms up, as if to say, well, what are you talking about? And you mentioned Doug Eddings too, running and saying, no, he did want to challenge. Now I'm wondering too, when you run up Julio, if he wasn't paying attention to the hitter, like if he was looking down in that situation. It's tough to tell, obviously, with his mask on, but man, that is frustrating.
Big swing and a miss from Caminero. Julio's challenge came truly in under 1 second from the time the full motion of strike 3 was called.
He's still thinking about it, even on that play to center field too, man. It's hard to be 1,000% switched on to going left and right in the outfield when you're anchoring on that at bat for sure, and you can hear the crowd booing, and of course too the circumstances.
So Jimenez
brings him up, heads turned.
He's looking at
him. Yeah, I mean, there's, wow.
That's a perfect shot on our Snow Call Me Supermo.
Now I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. There's really none. As you get multiple looks at it. He knows too, man. By the way, look, he's going to obviously, if he doesn't realize it now, he'll look back after this game and go, man, I really, like you said, Goldie whiffed on that one. Shepard's on a turning point of the game.
Josh Simpson warming up in the bullpen lefty for the Mariners. We've got a pitching change here in the 7th. On this night of the 50 greatest players, Mike Jackson, one of the most reliable relief arms in franchise history. 5 seasons in Seattle. Thriller posted a 3.38 ERA and led the Mariners in appearances in 4 separate years.
Yep, just got.
Top of the 7th, Rays in front, and they're still booing Emil Jimenez. Josh Simpson takes over, facing Victor Mesa Jr., who is homered tonight. Time call.
Josh Simpson trying to get that final out left on left here in the 7th. Get his team back in that dugout, trying to get something sparked offensively. I think that's obviously a part of it too, the circumstances, right? Obviously Dan Wilson, second ejection just a couple of days apart.
To be fair, very different kinds of ejections.
Absolutely, and this one was, I don't care how calm you are. If you're a manager, you're going to be ejected in a situation like that, because that was crazy. But you can hear the crowd with the booing constantly throughout the entire inning. A lot of frustrations here with this team, down 3-1, second game against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Simpson gets the job done and gets his man out to retire the side. Eric Hansen's lights out curveball helped him throw 21 complete games in 6 seasons with the M's. A career 3.69 ERA over nearly 1,000 innings, 4th best all time in franchise history. Tonight's 7th inning stretch brought to you by Washington's Lottery. Here's to building a stronger Washington. Washington's Lottery helps fund the WA grant. Free money for college, training, or apprenticeships. when you play all of Washington wins. Rays have the lead 3-1, bottom of the 7th inning. Lefty Garrett Clevenger takes over on the mound for the Rays. Former Oregon Duck. First pitch strike. Booze might be there the rest of the night at this rate. Hammered. Josh Naylor, his second home run tonight. It's a one-run game.
And Goldie, just like in that second inning, left on left, hanging breaking ball. Lets it fly. Look at this little sweeper backing up against Clevenger. Eyes light up. Drives that ball to right center field. This is a really good sign for one of those bats you want getting going. And Josh Naylor. And letting the dugout know too.
3 hits, all for extra bases. It's Naylor's second multi-homer game this year, and his first game this season with 3 extra base hits. Right there on the edge, just barely called strike 2.
And look, he's handled lefties all year long, but just anytime you have a little extra challenge to it, it's not like you're getting just meatballs out over the plate. But just getting that lefty, man, that's huge. Letting it fly too, getting that A swing off both times. Seeing something you can handle, not fouling it back. It's got to be a good feeling.
No, that makes it a one-run game now. Clevenger can make it move, man. There's some serious action on that breaking ball. Ball and a strike to count Raleigh.
He's got the 97 to go with it. Crazy strikeout rate, over 32%. One swing and miss.
Two and 2 on count. Couple of homers and a double tonight for Josh Naylor. He is driven in both. Full count. Naylor has 3 of the Mariners' 5 hits tonight. That is just fair. Long throw, Caminero, and Aranda can't hold on to it. Cal Raleigh is into scoring position.
We know Cal doesn't have plus speed, but he saw Junior Caminero looked up and felt like he had to rush this throw. And just wide, that ball sailed. Didn't set his feet. And Cal getting that quick look, turned it to the right. Turned his head to the right. Seeing that ball.
It's an infield base hit and a throwing error on Caminero. Quick word now from Enzo.
Next stop, game day. Visit this brand new community. Steps from the Linwood Light Rail. Round the bases and come home to Enzo. Visit enzolinwood.com today.
Right-hander in the bullpen, Kevin Kelly.
He's been a tough matchup. He was tough on the Mariners down in Tampa Bay. We saw him last night in those late innings.
Tough left on left here for Colt Emerson. Tying run, Cal Raleigh at second.
I'm curious to see how Clevenger attacks Colt Emerson. We know about that weak spot. Colt's been really struggling with that heater up. You got 97 left on left. But Clevenger loves to throw. You mentioned that slider of his. Gets a ton of swing and miss.
And on the hands, a little loop, and it is flagged down by Simpson on that great speed.
He got a good jump on that ball, man.
Bryce Harper and the Phillies are coming to T-Mobile Park later this month. Star-powered showdown. Mariners and the Fightin' Phils, Monday the 24th of August through Wednesday the 26th. Mariners.com/tickets. Right-handed bat Taylor Ward is due up next, and Kevin Cash going to his bullpen.
This summer, 2 fan.
The best right-hand hitter in franchise history, Edgar Martinez, 7-time All-Star, 2-time batting champ, entire 18-year career with the Mariners, where his number is retired, inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2019. Well, the Mariners could use a double right here. Taylor Ward facing Kevin Kelly. Tie and run at second. Ward out to right field, and it is caught. Caught by Mesa in right. You know, the Mariners' threat comes to an end. Mariners within one. Gold Glove right fielder, Mariners Hall of Famer. Of course, we're talking about the Bone. Over 300 career home runs with the M's. A 1997 All-Star, received MVP votes that year. And man, there's no better wingman in the booth than that guy. Number 19, Jay Buhner.
Now at Jimmy John's for
One-run game. We've reached the top of the 8th inning. 3-2 Tampa Bay. Off the plate for ball one. Josh Simpson, Chandler Simpson. Some naming rights on the line here to lead things off in the 8th inning. Low, 2-0. Slew of lefties due up for the Rays here in the 8th. Three and 0. Cedric Mullins waiting on deck as Simpson wants a new ball. There it goes. Fastball over the plate. To center field. Julio is there. One down. Tonight's Overlake Medical Centers and Clinics Health Report. We take you back to the summer of '95 when Junior returned to the lineup after missing over 70 games with that fractured wrist. 10 homers over his final 45 games. Man, all the guys that year just went off. Jay had, I believe it was 23 home runs in his final 60 some odd games. He had more RBIs than games played down the stretch there. Edgar was incredible. Tino Martinez was tremendous. Last man on the bench is being used. Johnny DeLuca batting for Cedric Mullins.
DeLuca going deep last night off Logan Gilbert. And that was a big out though, Chandler Simpson. You get down in the count. You know how fast he is. He changes what you do on the mound when he's on base.
Does not go. In terms of your tempo, your focus.
Because at some point he's going to run. And obviously you give up a hit. He's always an extra base. He's not going station to station. It's a 3-2 game. Not to mention too, you don't want to be walking the leadoff hitter left on left when you should be dominating if you're Josh Simpson. But this Mariners bullpen's been pushed a little bit in the 6th inning. Michael Rocker gave up the 2 runs. You have Josh Simpson, guys who aren't usually in high leverage for this team. These close games.
Swing and a miss. Curveball takes care of him. 2 outs. This portion of the game is brought to you by UW Medicine at Harborview. Backed by research and innovation, UW Medicine delivers all care at this King County-owned hospital. UW Medicine at Harborview, a higher degree of health care. Two outs. Here is Liam Hicks.
I talked about Hicks being a big trade to the Tampa Bay Rays from the Miami Marlins, but hasn't been the same offense when it's been left on left. Hitting 200, just a 1 home run. Slugging around 240.
A warm burner over to first base. Simpson covering. Side retired in order. Nice work. Simpson retires all 4 that he faces tonight. Simply one of the greatest and most popular players in baseball history. Former MVP, the one and only, the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. 11 straight All-Star teams, 10 consecutive Gold Gloves, 630 homers, 7th most all time.
Yep, just got.
One of the greatest pitchers of all time, the big unit, Randy Johnson, launched his Hall of Fame career right here in Seattle, where he was a 5-time All-Star and won the first Cy Young in club history. His number 51 retired earlier this year by the M's. Cole Young leads things off. 2, 3, and 4 for the Mariners, down a run with 6 outs to play with tonight.
Kevin Kelly having a really good year, ERA around 2. Just a ground ball machine.
Challenge here. Liam Hicks challenging this pitch.
I think he's even smirking behind his catcher's mask.
Now, this has never happened before. The ruling, ball 2, that I've never heard such a great cheer for an ABS challenge simply because of the umpire, or in part because of it, as Young beats that into the ground and finds a base hit over there. Tonight's DirecTV New Era feature, the one and only Mr. Mariner, the Rookie of the Year back in 1984. 27 homers, OPS approaching 900, Mariner Hall of Famer Alvin Davis. All right, Mariners in business here. Go ahead, run it at the plate for the Mariners. He's got right after him. A couple of fastballs over the plate. And Kelly ahead 0-2. Messing with his timing a little bit there. Fouls it away. Young to lead at first, nobody out. Ground ball. Palacios. Young is out. Randy is safe.
It's just so tough to get the ball in the air against Kevin Kelly. Yeah, even Cole Young, that base hit was just scooted by Junior Caminero, pounded into the ground. And these are the guys who are the most dangerous when you're talking about the Rays. They're unknown. That these one-inning guys out of the bullpen, they hone in on what that thing is that make them successful. The way they develop pitching. And he's done it this year. He struggled last year, had an ERA close to 6. He's honed into that right there, that ground ball ability.
Well, he gets 2 for 1. And the Mariners hit the minimum to the plate despite that leadoff single in the 8th inning. A major role in the historic 116-win season in 2001. Brett Boone, 37 homers. He led the league in ribbies that year, finished 3rd in the MVP, a 2-time All-Star and Silver Slugger, a 3-time Gold Glove winner in his time with the Mariners. Andres Munoz, already one of the all-time saves leaders in franchise history. He's 2 shy of 100 and honored today on the field. A top 50 Mariner, 2-time All-Star. And Andres Munoz gets the ball in the 9th, down a run. Palacios on the ground. First time he has made it out tonight. Munoz has been down for 3 days. There have not been a lot of natural opportunities for Andres to pitch as of late.
Right.
You got an off day on Monday.
Yeah, we saw him go that inning plus for the first time this season. Only did it once last year against the Padres. It's getting to that point. These wins in the month of August really matter. The way this division's playing out, this wild card's playing out for this Seattle Mariners. Got the off day Monday.
Also, I'm not sure if, under normal circumstances, if Gabe Spire would have been a factor here. He certainly could have. You got a couple of lefties. But Gabe Spire beginning his suspension tonight, he appealed. It was reduced to 2 games. So Gabe Spire unavailable out of the bullpen tonight and tomorrow. And in this situation with the suspension, the Mariners are not able to replace Gabe Spire. So they are a man short. Walls, no chance. A changeup.
We've seen more and more of that pitch the last couple outings against lefties from Munoz. It is nasty.
Tonight's Western Washington Toyota pitching line on Mariners starter George Kirby. Kirby really had his pitch count work, 99 pitches over 5 innings.
Yeah, it just wasn't as efficient. You see just a 1 run in the 5 innings, but plenty of traffic behind him. Yeah, tough going. You mentioned the Gabe Spire suspension starting today too, and that's what really pushed in that 6th inning when you got your starter only going 5, 6, and 7. You got to cover some ground. Josh Simpson, who was good, don't get me wrong. Michael Rocker gave up those runs, those crucial runs in the 6th. You're a man down in the bullpen.
Oh, 2. He got him, Munoz. One of those innings, man. Looked helpless. That reminds us of somebody else back in the day. A key member of Lou Pinella's bullpen during his 5 seasons in Seattle. Norm Charlton, better known as the Sheriff, was part of 3 playoff teams. Owns a sub-1 career postseason earned run average.
This is the
Mariners are down by 1, down to their final 3 outs in this one tonight. Julio, big swing and a miss. Last night it was Julio against Brian Baker on the mound right now.
Yeah, got that bat head out and that changeup 1-1 count. Took it deep. That was all she wrote there for the Mariners in regards to the offense.
He stinks it up the middle into center field. Speed at first base. Tying run is aboard. Brings up the man who has done it all tonight offensively for the Mariners, Josh Naylor.
Yeah, he's looking like he is starting to get real hot, seeing the ball well, but for Julio staying back up the middle, this time a fastball that was down. That's his area right there, down in that strike zone, get that bat head out, staying up the middle. They use that traffic. Another base runner.
Well, you were talking earlier about obscure relievers who do great things for Tampa Bay. Baker is one of them. He is leading baseball with his 33 saves. He has converted each of his last 22 save opportunities. It is tied with Fernando Rodney for the longest such streak in franchise history. He's trying to set a new club record here tonight.
Yeah, what a breakout year he's had. You mentioned 33. I mean, was with the Baltimore Orioles for those handful of years. He's hitting in the 3.5s. He's facing Josh Naylor, who's all of a sudden getting that slug back, Goldie. Two home runs. Double against the Tigers that last series. Double tonight in that left center gap.
Josh Naylor is 3 for 3 with 3 extra base hits. There has never been a Mariner hitter in the history of T-Mobile Park with 4 extra base hits in a game in this ballpark. The last Mariner to do it was on the road, of course, and it was Ryan Healy. 3 doubles and a homer back in 2019. Winning run is at the plate.
When these two faced off last night, it was that pitch right there, the changeup that struck out Josh Naylor against Brian Baker. Through 2 of them, it was a 3-pitch strikeout.
Naylor out to center field. It has some carry, but not enough. Flagged down by DeLuca.
Now that's a pitch he recognized. That was the pitch he struck him out last night. That one was kind of hanging middle of the plate. And you can see he recognizes it, pulls the trigger. But right away he knows just simply not deep enough. Barrel.
Here's Donovan. Tie and run Julio at first base. Donovan sends this out to left and foul. Well, on a night that began with a lot of emotion, one of the most incredible ceremonies in Mariners history, can they find a way to come from behind and pull this one off? They need 1 to tie, 2 to win it. One out, 1 on. Bottom of the 9th inning. Takes high. Cal Raleigh waiting his turn on deck. 1-2. On the ground. Snared. Throw to second. Walls to first base. In time. Double play. And this game is over. Baker, a franchise record, his 23rd consecutive save, and the final 2 come at the Mariners' expense last night and tonight. And the Rays win the series. Mariners will try to salvage things tomorrow. 3-2 the final.
Oh, he had more traffic tonight from the Mariners offense. That's for sure, but man, tough one. 3-2, couple long balls. Those middle innings, you're talking about trying to get into that Rays bullpen. It was a bullpen day, and they were shut down in some of those middle innings, but just nothing doing again. Staring at another series loss for the Seattle Mariners.
The story remains the same. 2 runs for the Mariners as the Rays win it by 1. Mariners postgame on the other side.
Great news.